The moment the final out was recorded, Dodger Stadium erupted into absolute chaos. A sea of blue and white surged with emotion as fans realized what had just happened. The Los Angeles Dodgers were officially heading back to the World Series. It wasn't just another win. It was a declaration, a message to the entire baseball world that this team, built with precision, grit, and championship DNA, wasn't done yet. The Brewers had fought hard all series long, but in the end, the Dodgers proved to be too powerful, too composed, and simply too complete. The tension before those last 3 outs was suffocating. Every pitch carried the weight of an entire city's hopes. The camera zoomed in on the faces of players who had been here before, veterans like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Max Muncy, their eyes locked in, their hearts pounding, knowing that history was just a few strikes away. The crowd stood on its feet, cell phones in the air, ready to capture the moment when destiny would finally seal itself once again in blue and white. As the Dodgers closer took the mound, the roar was deafening. The first pitch came in hot, a fastball perfectly placed for strike one. The entire stadium screamed in unison. The next pitch, a breaking ball, missed just outside. 1-1. Every fan knew the magnitude of what they were witnessing. The Brewers, down to their final breaths, were swinging with desperation, hoping to extend their season by just one more inning. But it was clear, the Dodgers smelled blood in the water. Then came the second out, a sharp grounder to third. The throw to first was crisp, clean, and decisive. 2 outs. Just one more to go. The cameras caught manager Dave Roberts exhaling on the top step of the dugout, hands clasped in anticipation. He had led this team through countless highs and lows, and now, his patience and persistence were being rewarded. The dugout buzzed with energy, players standing shoulder to shoulder, ready to spill onto the field. The final batter stepped in. You could almost hear the collective heartbeat of 50,000 people inside the stadium. The count ran full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The tension could not have been tighter. The pitcher nodded to his catcher, wound up, and delivered the pitch, a blazing fastball at the knees. The swing came, and missed. Strike 3. Game over. The Dodgers had done it. They had swept the Brewers and punched their ticket back to the Fall Classic. Instantly, gloves flew into the air, and the players poured onto the field. The celebration was wild and raw, a mix of joy, relief, and triumph. Freddie Freeman threw his arms around Betts, while Shohei Ohtani, yes, the two-way superstar who had joined the Dodgers this season, was grinning ear to ear. For Ohtani, this was more than a win. It was validation. His decision to come to Los Angeles, to chase glory with this team, was paying off in the grandest possible way. As confetti cannons exploded and the crowd chanted, "Let's go Dodgers!" Over and over again, the emotional weight of the journey hit everyone. This wasn't an easy path. The Dodgers had faced injuries, slumps, and questions throughout the year. There were moments when critics doubted their chemistry, wondered if their stars could truly deliver under pressure. But when it mattered most, they rose. Every single one of them. Mookie Betts, in particular, had been electric. His leadership and clutch hitting throughout the NLCS were a reminder of why he's one of the most complete players in baseball. Freddie Freeman, calm and consistent as ever, brought stability to the lineup. And then there was Ohtani, his bat-igniting rallies, his energy contagious. He wasn't just a superstar, he was the spark that made this entire run feel magical. On the other side, the Brewers stood quietly, watching the Dodgers celebrate. For Milwaukee, this was heartbreak. They had come so far, defying expectations, playing inspired baseball. Their young core had shown promise, and their pitching staff had fought hard to keep them alive. But against the might of the Dodgers, it simply wasn't enough. Yet, as their players walked off the field, they held their heads high. They knew they had gone toe-to-toe with one of baseball's giants. Back in the Dodgers dugout, champagne bottles were being readied. Reporters swarmed the field as players laughed, shouted, and hugged each other. Manager Dave Roberts stood in the center, drenched in Gatorade, his smile wide and proud. When asked about the sweep, he simply said, "This team never stops believing." That's what makes them special. The fans, too, refused to leave the stadium. They stayed, waving flags, singing, shouting the names of their heroes. For many, this was a dream come true, to see their team, the Dodgers, return to the biggest stage in baseball once again. The big screen showed highlights from the series, Betts' clutch hits, Freeman's doubles, Ohtani's thunderous home run that had sent the stadium into orbit in Game 2. Every moment had built to this crescendo. And what a series it had been. The Dodgers dominated from start to finish, showcasing their pitching depth and offensive firepower. Their bullpen, once criticized, had been nearly flawless. Their defense sparkled, turning double plays that looked straight out of a highlight reel. And their offense, relentless, balanced, explosive, had overwhelmed the Brewers' pitching staff. Now, the question on everyone's mind was simple: could this be the year? Could the Dodgers finally lift the World Series trophy again after years of near misses and heartbreaks? The fans certainly believed so. The energy, the belief, the hunger, it was all there. The Dodgers had unfinished business, and this sweep was just the beginning of their statement. As the team posed for photos with the NLCS championship trophy, Shohei Ohtani was front and center, holding it high with both hands. The image instantly began circulating online, a superstar fulfilling his destiny. For Japanese fans, it was a historic moment. For Los Angeles, it was pure magic. And for baseball fans around the world, it was a reminder of why the sport remains timeless. Inside the clubhouse, the celebration intensified. Music blasted, players danced, and champagne sprayed across every corner. Reporters struggled to keep their cameras dry as laughter and joy filled the air. It was the kind of celebration that only comes after a journey filled with sacrifice, hard work, and brotherhood. Every drop of champagne represented a story of perseverance, unity, and belief. Even in the middle of the chaos, Ohtani took a quiet moment to reflect. He spoke softly to reporters, saying, "This is just one step. The job's not finished." Those words echoed Kobe Bryant's legendary mindset, a clear signal that while the Dodgers were celebrating tonight, their focus was already on the bigger goal. Freddie Freeman echoed the same sentiment: "We're proud, but we're hungry. We know what's waiting for us in the World Series. And we're ready." Mookie Betts, grinning but composed, added, "We've been here before. This time, we plan to finish it." For the fans, this night will be etched into memory forever. The glow of the stadium lights, the sea of waving blue towels, the sounds of joy echoing into the Los Angeles night, it all felt cinematic. This was more than baseball. This was a city coming together, united by passion, pride, and hope. The Dodgers' return to the World Series isn't just about talent, it's about resilience. Every player, from the superstars to the role players, contributed something meaningful to this journey. Whether it was a clutch hit, a sacrifice bunt, or a diving catch, every moment mattered. That's what makes championship teams, the little things, done right, again and again. As the night wore on, fans spilled into the streets of Los Angeles, chanting and celebrating. Car horns echoed down the boulevards, fireworks lit up the sky, and strangers high-fived like lifelong friends. The city was alive, electric, proud, unstoppable. The Dodgers weren't just returning to the World Series, they were carrying an entire city's dreams with them. For baseball purists, this Dodgers team represents everything great about the sport: balance, teamwork, and determination. They can slug their way through games, but they can also win with defense and strategy. They can outlast opponents in extra innings or dominate with pitching. They are built for October baseball, and now, they have proven it once again. In the dugout after the final wave of celebration, the players gathered together for a quiet team huddle. Dave Roberts reminded them that history favors the relentless, those who don't settle. The message was clear: enjoy the night, but tomorrow, the grind continues. Because the World Series awaits, and nothing short of a championship will satisfy this team. As the lights dimmed and the stadium slowly emptied, one could still hear echoes of chants in the distance: "Let's go Dodgers! Let's go Dodgers!" It was the sound of belief, of confidence, of a city ready to chase another ring. And somewhere deep in the bowels of the stadium, the players smiled, knowing the best was yet to come.